On the minds of Wisconsin lawmakers at the state capitol now, even the possibility of a bipartisan agreement. Political Director Matt Smith with new developments from Madison tonight.
Amidst a busy day at the state capitol,
the hour of 1 o'clock having arrived, the assembly is in session.
Tonight, Republican leaders and Democratic Governor Tony Evers signaling the potential for an agreement on a sweeping tax cut for Wisconsinites.
I feel like we're in an okay spot. We had a good discussion with the governor, very brief. I think the governor realizes that we're not going to spend any more money unless we have the ability to reduce taxes and help folks deal with inflation. And I think we realize that we're not going to ever get a tax cut if we don't talk with the governor and see where his priorities are as well.
Republicans who control the state legislature and the governor have met at least once, and that is a sign of potential compromise as the two sides navigate their own demands and a $4 billion state surplus at the center of it all.
That's tough. I mean, first of all, we're somewhat apart on what we want to do with taxes. But it has to be part of the budget. A separate bill is not something I would support.
What are the state of negotiations from your viewpoint with the governor?
I'm not going to discuss what we're talking about.
The discussion's part of the overall state budget. And the details and exactly what that tax cut would look like, that still seems like a ways to go.
The governor had in his budget proposed a new tax bracket increasing for the wealthiest. I mean, is that on the table?
The governor has not met anyone who pays taxes that he likes, it seems like. I mean, he is obsessed with people who don't pay taxes. He wants to punish success in this state.
The time tonight is of the essence. Both Republican leaders and the Democratic governor would like a budget passed and signed by this summer. At the Capitol, I'm Matt Smith, WISN 12 News.